What is up, YouTube? It's Youngest Chief, and today I got a little bit to discuss, but first I'm gonna start with a little daily love. Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. I've been trying. That's what I've been praying on, low key. Just something magical is about to take place. That's all I know. But the sun is beaming right now. So I have something very important to discuss. Something about what I've been talking about lately, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see, like, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?" Right? And then I try to get help from like the government, or and they're like, "Well, where's the evidence?" Well, I can't provide any evidence besides these official reports, presidential edition, of the War of 1898. Okay? That happens to be around the same time Anoka's tornado came through, wiped out the city. And right here, it says, remember, or it says, the story of the war. These are presidential editions. Signed, stamped, delivered. I'm going to show you how karma works. Because I am an earth angel who has come to deliver karma. The story of the Spanish-American War and the revolt in the Philippines. Interesting. So, as you can see, anything that I try to, that goes on the internet today, anything that I try to use as evidence gets blocked, gets shut down. But anyways, the story of the war. The first sentence is, the battle cry of Dewey's sailors, remember the Maine, echoing across the placid waters of Manila Bay. Tells in a few words the cause of our recent war with Spain. So, what's crazy is that the officer that my dad had got into when my dad was drunk, he got home, and somebody called the cops for a suspicious drunk driver. The officer that actually pulled up and confronted my father at his house while he was not driving anymore. So, what was the point of even going over there? Was, believe it or not, Officer Dewey. Same last name, spelt exactly the same. Officer Dewey was alive a year and a half after my dad had shot him. Officer Dewey was also having a surgery done, and the doctor happened to puncture his lung, and this was reported on the news that this had happened. And according to the law of Minnesota, a medical procedure like that, my bad, would indicate that my bad, I'm just silent, putting this on silence. It would make my father not guilty, basically. They didn't care. They still found him guilty on all charges. I'm just showing you how karma works, though. This is exactly how karma works. You guys probably did not believe that I had these official books, these official reports of the war back then. I believe St. Francis around here, Lake George, they built a resort after the war. There's a private drive where this 5-star war general, Officer Green, Greene, had lived. It mentions Officer Green over here in this book. I'm not going to say all that it mentions because, there's no need. I know what happened, and I know the karma. I know that I am the Native American in the Seven Fires prophecy that talks about either chasing materialistic things in life or a spiritual way of living. And the one who my guru was supposed to be, it mentions, was the admiral. Well, they have the same name. Well, kinda. Like, similar. Admiral Sampson. Admiral Sampson. Believe it or not, Admiral Sampson had been it said he was second in command at that time. Oh yeah. Listen here. It says, the Foreign Relations Committee made an exhaustive report which arraigned the government of Spain as no civilized nation ever has been in the history of the world. Even the crimes of the heinous Turk paled before those committed in Cuba, where the mother country was openly charged with exterminating the children and immolating the women in order that she might repopulate the island with loyal subjects. That is the exact same thing they did to Native Americans, and they do not want to admit that. And believe it or not, they try playing these mind games with me, because if you go on this adult website called Pornhub that everybody knows, adult website, there's this channel called King of Cream Pies, right? And it's this galactic being coming to immolate this woman at a massage parlor so that she could give birth to the new world, or basically to populate the world. Well, my guru had this person that he knew that did chiropractic and massages. He said I should go and visit them. I was like, whatever. I didn't do it. And then I had this feeling, some weird feeling just told me that something was off about him. I'm glad I trusted my instincts because here we are. And if you know the story about Jesus, when Jesus was about to be born, they had a I forget who said it. The Baptist, John, I think. Yeah, John the Baptist said that the prophet was coming and that he was alive and that he was about to be born, and then the king had every male kid to be killed so that the prophet Jesus could not be alive, right? Well, I think they heard the same thing about the Native Americans. In the Native Americans 7 Fires prophecy, it says that if the settlers come over carrying no weapons, it's okay to trust them. If they come over carrying weapons, do not trust them, for they will destroy all of your people and all of the land. It will all be destroyed. And so I didn't trust it. My story is similar to like Jesus. In this, it says that after the war, America was supposed to provide them with food, and it was supposed to be a government that existed strictly on what the people wanted. That is super duper crazy. That just goes to show you how karma works. The reason why I think Officer Dewey showed up to my dad's house is because they thought that my dad was going to give birth to a child who may be the prophet that the person that the prophecy was talking about. Well, my dad had just had a little baby at the time. But what I don't think they understood was that the use of technology has sped up the rotation of the earth. So days became faster. I think they got the timing wrong. And my dad, they thought was going to be the one to either give birth to the prophet or whatever. So, I feel like that is why my dad is in prison right now. And it talks about Dewey, just the vessel Dewey just steaming ahead with no direction, just with no word. And just among the brilliant actions of the war, the Battle of Manila stands solely as preeminently alone. It was the first and only fleet engagement, the single action that was fought to a finish. The Rear Admiral Dewey, on that memorable May Day, not only carved another name in the Temple of Fame, but won for himself a place by the side of Nelson, Perry, and Farragut. I'm not exactly sure who those people are. There have been attempts by some carping critics to lessen the glory of this great achievement, owing to the fact that our vessels were of a more modern type than the enemy's. But these very writers, either through ignorance or malice, have neglected to record the fact that though the Spanish fleet may have been inferior in arrangement, it was superior in numbers, in that it was reinforced not only by modern fortifications and shore batteries, but by a harbor mined with the latest type of modern torpedoes. But Dewey, with the hostile fleet before him and the pathless ocean behind, steamed boldly into an almost unknown harbor, realizing that it was either victory and glory or defeat and annihilation. There have been battles in which the odds against the victor were greater, engagements longer and more stubbornly fought, actions that have had a more potent influence upon the history of nations, but not one wherein the entire force of the enemy was destroyed without a serious casualty on the other side. I'm like a one-man army, basically, one-man team. They tried everything in their power. Since my dad was in prison, they tried everything in their power to not have me come out with this information about Native Americans, me being able to express myself the way that my culture grew up. They wanted everything in their power to stop me from doing that. Again, so they could conquer the whole land. But, as history shows, karma will pay itself one way or another. And you guys probably did not understand that I had this official documents reports. The official story of the war. Presidential edition. Signed, stamped, and delivered. So, it's funny how timelines kind of match up like that, you see? You guys always wonder why I'm so focused on the past, trying to uncover the truths of the past. Well, without the truth of the past, no karma can be repaid. No karma can be, unless the truth is out there. You know what I mean? So I see why they tried to hide the truth from me. Because if there is no written records, then how can one know that the karma is going to be there? Or how can one know that karma needs to be repaid? You would have to uncover the truth. Well, good thing you guys wrote it so perfectly that it matches up to my exact story. It's kind of funny how karma works. And like I said, believe it or not, the karma is going to find its way back. And the Native Americans are going to be able to practice their ways freely, and same with every other culture. Because I think people are starting to wake up and realize that the corrupt government, the ones running it, they're not here for the people. They're not here for the world, the greater good of all people. No, they like spending money on war. Who likes going to war when everybody loses? You know? And the Federal Galactic in space wasn't... They couldn't step in on planet Earth and help intervene. Unless unless you guys allowed them to. But since I was releasing this information, and you guys didn't think that I could provide evidence on what had happened, that I would get the karma but here we are. I have the official reports of what happened. So I hope this goes to show that karma will always find its way back. I hope this goes to show that this is not my first life, obviously, here on planet Earth. And corruption will come to an end at some point, sometime. And no matter how hard you try to stop it, just like with Jesus and the King, you will never be able to stop something that is written in the stars. It's fate. You can't stop something that is meant to be. And the truth is, I'm here to deliver the truth, to find the truth, to seek truth. And nothing is going to stop me to find out the truth. And here we have it. Official reports. So, yeah. If you have not, I also believe that those women on the webcam models are being human trafficked as well. Just, it's a personal opinion. I don't know. But I also believe that the Spaniards, I think, have control of the dark web. And I think Admiral Sampson and the government had control of the government, obviously. So, me trying to ask for help anywhere, anyway, going against the black market, going against the government, where's the help? Nowhere. It's pretty much a lose-lose for me. That's why I'm a one-man army. I don't have no help. Nobody can offer me any assistance, no help, nothing. I have to figure it all out on my own. And then when I was searching about Lake George, the war between the natives that happened around 1898, 1896, that was about a year ago. When I went and looked on the other day, it said 1860 something, 1862. They changed it like 30 years so that they wouldn't match up. It's like, obviously I remember the time frame that had happened, because it was the same time that the signs by the Anoka County, Mississippi River that are stuck in the ground that you can read. Same time, around 1890s. Because the first automobile is when they really started building the cities, which was around 1910, 1911. So, it's clear that Native Americans they were living here way before the times that you say. The timelines don't really match up for what you guys wrote. And you guys thought that would be an okay thing to say and do, because Native Americans didn't have written language. So we didn't have documents to figure it out. But what we do have is spirit. And with spirit, that's all you need. Because spirit will guide you. Just like spirit guided me. Uncovering the mysteries. You know. The timelines. We need to figure out the actual timelines of life. And that's why we couldn't move forward in life, is because we were stuck. It just didn't make sense. Nothing made sense. Well, karma is coming. And those who try to block it, those who try to stop me and intervene, for the simple fact of helping the corruption extend further and further, it's unfortunate. And I pray for you all. I pray, Father, that they find the love and peace in their heart that you have shown me. I pray that they may change their ways and walk the path of spirit. In Jesus' name, amen. That's all I got. But yeah, my psychic investigation that I came here to do and worked so hard on my whole life, that I've been dedicating every single day to the last 3-4 years, is wrapping up. It's coming to an end, coming to a close. Oh yeah, and the ships that they say that got captured in this book say that over like $500,000, $250,000 have been caught and seized on the ships. Well, guess what? There have been, on the news reports that I've been getting on my phone, drug busts of over 50 pounds of methamphetamine, 20 pounds of fentanyl, $787,000 in cash, all seized. That was just one yesterday in West Virginia. There was more in the Midwest and in Minneapolis and South Dakota. And the reason why I think they were coming up to this way was because they were trying to use warfare through spell work and drug addiction to have me overdose and die as a form of war, so that I could not come out with this information to the public. They figured that they could, if they couldn't kill me physically, they would make it look like an accident, or like us, like they love to do. Oh, the kid was just a junkie. No, I don't want to be on drugs. I have not for so long. And I feel like that is, they thought that fentanyl would kill me. But the truth is that my body is evolving like humans do. And since that happens, humans are going to start being born genetically to be able to fight off overdosing, just because that's what happens for us to survive. That's just a way that evolution works. Isn't that kind of gnarly to think about? I love my body. My body's so special and unique. This is just a beautiful life that I live, and I give thanks. The sun is beaming, spring is here. Mother Earth is feeling good. I can't wait. Anyways, that is my psychic investigation. It's wrapping up. It's coming to full steam close. And justice will be served. Whether you want it to or not, it is coming to an end. And those who swap souls and bodies and do all that black magic rituals in that cult, whatever they working with, it's all coming to an end. You tried your best, and it almost had me fooled. It almost had me. But good thing I had those books. Even the dates match up, like, perfectly. March 21st is the date that they said. And it says to report this to the government by the 18th of April. So, here is my report, I guess. Anybody want to come and check out and read the books with me? from the United States government, I'd love to take a look with you. I'd love to sit and go over the documents and maybe go over the Native American treaties, maybe if we have to, see what we can, come up with. And yeah, I think that would only be fair. But again, what I think is fair and what some might think is fair, two different things. So we'll see. The best thing you can do is pray on it and hope for the best. But I got hope that things are changing. I got hope for world peace and everyone coming together. And if that doesn't, you will know why. Not because of me, because there's parties that would not want that happening. And you'll find out whether they do or not coming soon. Stay tuned, everybody. Love y'all.